Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have about 10 minutes to have a little bit of discussion. We need another 15 minutes for Stan to get into line.
Not 15, maybe like 10.
Just 10.
Just 10.
Thank you very much. I'm Jeffrey Pufal, and I'm the co-director of this internship with Ryan Morini. And when I approached Samuel Proctor Oral History to do an internship around performance of oral history for social justice, I was greeted and supported by the Creative Campus Scholar in Residence program, and of course my home department, the Center for Arts and Medicine. And I felt it was, for my own interest, really important to begin a dialogue, not only with the past, with oral history and the present, but continue the dialogue between the university and the community, between black and white, between student and elder, and faculty and non-faculty, and of course community, to bring in the community. I asked Stephen Butler in the Actors Warehouse to be a part of this program, to help me find this incredible company of actors from the community to come and embody the stories that we in the internship were uncovering. The process for us was very lengthy. We began in and amongst the artwork and discerning the themes from Jacob Lawrence's work, engaging in the imagery, in the colors, and each of the interns decided what piece of art spoke to them and what theme they wanted to go into. And from that point, Ryan, who has an incredible knowledge of the archive, began to pull stories, transcripts of interviews, and bring them into the classroom. And the students would read through these many transcripts, and we would discuss them and begin to formulate ideas for what scenes could be. How can we put people from the past who were not in conversation with each other into conversation with each other in a new way, to shed a new light on the past in order to inform us in our present. So the students went through a very rigorous process of research, reading. They conducted several interviews, many interviews on their own. They pulled interviews from our archive here and from the Oral History Archive in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. They read books, they went to the libraries, they spoke with community. We engaged in a tremendous amount of very important debate and discussion around this work, around the ethics of this work, around ownership, around inclusion, diversity, racism, discrimination. It has been a very powerful semester, and so we're so pleased to bring this work to you all. To share. And I know we went in rapid fire succession because I really wanted all of the students to have their pieces performed, and that was not possible. Unfortunately, there was so much work. But I do want to have the opportunity for you all to respond a little bit, to ask a question or two, because the idea is of course to have a little bit of dialogue around these pieces. It is coming into contact with history in a very exciting way to have it embodied by human beings in the moment. So if anybody has anything, yes, please.
I really enjoyed the whole presentation. It seems like it's life full circle, because I was one of the last graduates of Lincoln in '68, and also I attended the University of Florida as one of the first admittees at the university as an African American student. And I was advisor for the BSU for 33 years. So I feel that's full circle for me, and it embodied my whole life. It was like a life story kind of rolling around as I prepared to celebrate my 50th class anniversary, reunion in a couple of months. So I really enjoyed all the pieces. They were excellently done.
I'm going to stand and I ditto what she has said. I just want you to know, you all to know, I'm a historian first. I enjoyed every ounce of what you did today because everything you talked about, I lived it. Mm-hmm. I attended Florida Memorial College in St. Augustine, 1957 to 61, and I went to Frank Butler's beach. Mm-hmm. Okay? You talked about Robert Healing. I was in college in 1960 when Robert Healing came to St. Augustine, Florida Memorial College, just out of dental school. He was a radical. And he said, this is what we are going to do. So before Martin Luther King came to St. Augustine, we integrated the E.W. Woolworth, okay, in St. Augustine. Worst experience of my life. I'm from Archer. My parents called me every day, you better not participate. However, my peers said, you're going, Bryson. And when my mom told me that, I said, yes, ma'am. As soon as I hung up the phone, they were on my case. What else did you talk about today? Rosewood. My aunt was the teacher in Rosewood, the real teacher. That's my family, and I want you to know that Mary Reynolds, who gave you that information, she's sitting right there with the pretty gray hair, is my friend. I met her when her husband, living in Rosewood, got a call from Oprah Winfrey to come to her show. Mary called me because he didn't want to go. And we hit that plane and we went to Chicago and had a ball on the Oprah Winfrey show. So whatever, Lincoln, I was the first to open Lincoln High School, the new school, in 56. And I just want you all to know, you really have added so much to my life. And the reason I am here, somebody told me, but I want you to know, a month ago, I went to the Performing Arts Center and I said to Matt Cox, I want to do a reenactment of Rosewood. He remembered because I had gone to him 10 years ago. I wasn't ready. I'm ready because, as I said, I've done 25 years of research and nobody tells my story like I tell it because I tell it the truth. There are people out there that's trying to, which is called fake news. But I want you to know that Paul Artez is going to be working with us, hopefully, Paul. And I would like to invite all of you to come and sit to hear my real story when I tell it, to give us ideas to help us perform this and make it the best play ever in the United States. Lastly, my name is Lizzie Robinson Jenkins, and this is my story, and I'm sticking to it.
My name is Maria Riddle's Latson, and you were me. You said about the baby, it was my son's 7th birthday. Let me shake your hand. You got my daddy down. You come to my mom. No. Somebody, you. She's not Southern, so change it next time. She's in Stand up, mommy. She'll be 90 years old in 2 weeks. There's not one of your vignettes that did not directly touch my life. And I just got to tell you, I was the first Black health inspector in St. Augustine. And I've done Frank on the beach. I know those people. I know the dentists. I was in St. Augustine. I live in Ocala. Mary, I know the Pinkston family. When you talked about University of Florida, I was here in the 70s. I know about the racism. Could you see me talking? Well, that's Rosa. Could you see me talking to you all? Because the stories that you gave, that was my life. So I was here with the student in the 70s. I was here making that cultural system. I didn't know that. And I know about being the only black, because I know the KKK was after me. I was the only black health inspector in St. Augustine. They pointed to the tree where they were going to hang me. But God is better than good, right? I'm the one that was capturing you. And I captured him because I said, you can't tell the story of the people that are alive and not invite them to come. And so there might have been some more people that you all can know, you can see and touch and feel. These are the real people that you did such a wonderful job. They're still alive. So thank you.
Congratulations, I am Lois Waters, a retired teacher of Alachua County. I'm not quite as seasoned as some of these people, but you all really have touched my life as well. My dad was a military man in the Navy. I did experience Broadway in Gaines and Ocala, and I remember the street and everything was all black, and I just thought, man, I have arrived, because I always was integrated. I never had the opportunity to have an all-black anything. So you blessed me for bringing this to life and bringing it back to me. I also want to say I was also a lot of times the only black student in the classroom, and even integrated. I was the only black female. So it was important again. Mama said, you do your best. Daddy said, do your best. And also, even in the military, I asked my dad, well, how come you weren't a cook or a valet? He said, well, he had an officer that noticed he did have some intelligence in mathematics, and that's why he was promoted to learn to be an electrician. But you all were marvelous, and I wish that we could bring this to our youth so they can know this is real life. Yes, I've experienced it myself. Again, I'm not as seasoned, but I do remember a lot of these things. So thank you. I love you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Dr. Alice Walton. I'm the host of the NAACP radio show, The Voice. I tried to get in touch with you guys because I wanted some of you to come on the show and tell your story. But I still have a few weeks left that I can have you come on and tell your story. So if you're interested in telling that story, I would love to host you at Magic 101.3.
One more quick thing. I would be remiss if I did not let you know that I know Carol Richardson now, and we have been friends for years, and the two of us went to MatCons, and we are going back, and we're going to bring it to life.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Brittney, and I do want to thank you all for educating me even more. And the racism that is still going on is so disturbing, as I heard on the news about two black men in Philadelphia who were taken out because they were trespassing or something ridiculous. And from Starbucks, and I'm just very grateful to you all for speaking out, and I just want to thank you.
Came on this campus in '89. I now work in the African Studies program and have since 2003. And the first thing we did went out to the marker, and the marker out the road with. And I want to say when we talk about Black Thursday too, the African Studies program is still trying to become a department. And one of the demands was that African Studies become a department within 50 years. This coming year, the African Studies has been here with Ronald Bowman, who's now deceased, who was the director of African Studies by himself for 30 years. Okay, working hard, trying to educate the community and the campus about the importance of Black bodies in this country and all over the world. So first black deputy county attorney in St. Augustine, and the first black female deputy county attorney in St. Augustine that's also a Gator alum. So we have very significant entrenchment in history here in the local community, and I right now, we got history makers everywhere. So thank you.
We do hope to keep the conversation going, so if you would like to invite us to perform this work elsewhere, please get in touch with us at the Samuel Proctor Oral History Program. Unfortunately, the museum closes at 5 p.m., so if you'd like to mingle a little bit, do so as you're gently shifting outdoors. Did you want to say one last thing?
Obviously.
And I was also one of the students that walked out in the 70s and came back to get my degree.
Thank you. Thank you for adding that. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Okay, I was